Hey, you need more extreme metal music in your library, don't you? Well, I got a surprise for you. I got not one, not two, but three tracks for you tonight. Three albums for you tonight, okay? Some brand new stuff. Stay tuned, everybody, for something good. All right, friends, we're back for episode 25. Happy Saturday, January 27th, 2024. What better thing to do on a Saturday evening than review albums to put out here on YouTube for everybody out there in Metal Land, eh? Terry here again with Cast Metal and another Full Metal Review segment where I connect bands with fans just like you because I too love metal music. So, this segment, Full Metal Reviews, was created for one purpose only, and that was to answer the question, where do I get more metal music? And hopefully the answer is right here, okay? So for this show, I find and review the newest extreme metal tracks from my Apple Music account. Then I create a detailed analysis, and then I share it with you here on a video, so you have the goods to decide whether you want to collect these goodies or not, okay? In the end, I reveal three things, okay? One, my favorite tracks. Two, my controversial version of what genre it might be, and you can argue in the comments section with me, and that's fine. And also, you find out if it's going into my collection or not, okay? Journey begins actually every Sunday where I catalog all of my newest releases from my Apple Music account in the metal section onto my metal magazine page. I make a database and I document it, cut, copy, paste, and I add it there to my Facebook page. And I use that list to pick these albums that I review and analyze and put on video for you. So, as an added bonus, if you stick around till the end, as usual, if you've been joining me here on a regular basis, I add in something from my own treasure chest of goodies for you to also take with you. So tonight, you'll have 4 recommendations to take with you, all right? So, if you like the type of music that is listed next to me, all the way from death metal rather, all the way down to prog, if it's extreme, it's here on Cast Metal, because this is what I do. This is what I do for you guys, okay? So, in a recap, yesterday, what can I say about this band? Vitriol, Suffer and Become went into my library, fine, but I have to say that this was possibly the absolute heaviest, extremist metal I have ever heard in my life. It is beyond anything I've ever heard in speed and power and range all the way through. Kudos to this band, and they were absolutely fabulous. Give them a try if you are into the most extreme punishing stuff, okay? So, moving right along. Today I'm reviewing not one but 3 albums featuring Scarlet Rot's new self-titled album, and that they're going to be in our headlines. But before that, I have 2 more super extreme albums to analyze just for you, okay? So we're going to start things off with, we'll move ahead here. This next band is called Stone Horns, and I've never heard them before, but the album is called Chimera. And I'll go through the rules really quick before we get started. I review all albums without a preview. I try to avoid lives or singles. 2, I keep my reviews short and positive. And 3, although not everything I review will make it into my library, I will not knowingly badmouth any band, because I don't play an instrument, I don't sing, and insulting them is also insulting their fans, and I just don't roll that way, okay? All right, so let's go. First, we're starting off with a band called Stone Horns, and their newest album is Chimera, okay? Before listening to each album, I do 3 things. I do an overview of first impressions, prediction, and a process check. And remember, whatever the outcome is, everybody, please remember rather that these artists are worthy of your support, okay? So please give them all a chance here as I mention them. It'd be greatly appreciated to them, okay? So First is my unveiling overview in the same way I would unbox a product in a video. I open the page and I see that there are 7 strong sounding tracks totaling 35 minutes. The album cover artwork, as you can see, is gold, black, and white with custom fonts. I mean, look at this artwork. Look at it. Okay? Whoever does this artwork, kudos and hats off to you. Okay? It's just great stuff. All right. Now, my first impression and prediction. I try really hard to predict the outcome before I play the album. Now that I've seen the album cover and read the song titles, I think positive, and I think I struck gold here. And I'm predicting at least black metal or some type of blackened death metal. All right? Seems about right with this album cover. Maybe symphonic. We shall find out. So I'm going to go at black metal, blackened death metal with maybe some symphonic sounds. And if the album cover matches the band name and song titles, I believe I'm in for something pretty heavy. And of course, at the end, I'll compare my vision to the review results and let's move forward. So the process is I review and analyze up to 10 tracks, then the complete album's overall score, then each artist's performance, and then summarize everything in a 4-part checklist for you, okay? Track description, okay? Breakdown of each track, and I use numbers only, and if the occasion calls for it, if there's over 10 tracks on there, I only do 10. That's it. Okay, so track number 1, it opens softly and then it rumbles into action. It's fast, rangy, and deep. And I'm going to say right now, a big feature of this album is that this guy has a tremendous singing voice. He's very unique. The guitar solos, too, are excellent all the way through. Everything is good, but what stood out was this guy's voice, okay? Then track 2 comes out swinging with good rhythms, harmonies, and attack, while track 4 hits hard and strong. Track 3 rather, it hits hard with strong everything all the way through, rhythmic, thunderous, powerful. Track 4, it's a strong metalcore style piece, I find, and it's melodic, punchy, and very biting. Then track 5 is a blistering opening. It's fast, crunchy, and explosive. Track 6 is scrappy, and it's turbulent, and it's just fun. It's all over the place. Track number 7, finally, it opens up ominously and big, and then it gets epic and very deep, okay? And just as a note in the summary here, they seem to be steering a little wee bit down Fear Factory lane. They're metalcore with a tick of an industrial feel, okay, if that helps you at all. Overall description, recording and sound quality was good and clean with a ton of bass, a lot of bass. Production musicality, I believe, was very raw. I believe it sounds like they wanted it to go their way, okay? That's just a guess, though. The energy and intensity was good, and it was on the higher side. Rhythm and tempo, there was no lack anywhere of rhythm or tempo, wherever, okay? It was very rangy, but yet good rhythm and tempo. The lyrical theme, to me, was dystopian and categorized in Apple Music as death metal and black metal. I'd like to add that I see that they're more like a metalcore flavor or a new metal flavor with industrial elements, okay? Could they go mainstream? It's hard to say, but the potential seems to be there, okay? They just sound good, but they could wave either way. It's hard to say. Some bands get heavier and some bands go the way of the radio. Range and flow of the entire album, it's good. There's not one bad track, and it ends strong. So it's a double win-win all the way through. Again, they remind me a little wee bit of Fear Factory, but nowhere near the same type of singing voice, though. This guy, again, is very unique. Individual performance description, singing and vocalizations were uniquely good singer. Some intense fry elements, but not overly done. The guitars, great sound, excellent rhythm and solo work. Bass guitar was B-I-G. It was just big, okay, all the way through. Drums and percussion, strong, very full and rangy. And any additional sounds, there's nothing. It's all raw. It's without sound bites or samples that I could find, okay? Summary. Now that I've listened to the entire album, how does it compare to my first impression? Was my prediction accurate? No. I was expecting black metal, if you remember in my notes, but I got mainly metalcore and nu metal in that area, maybe with a tinge of industrial sounds in there. That sort of vibe. Emotionally, chills and goosebumps factor, I was feeling it. It was good. It was a really good ride. Tonality shades, light or dark, I'd say the music was on the darker side. Colors, blue. I said that they were blue because it's a color that you can trust. This is an album that when it's at a party, you're not going to ask your friends to change the album because it's good all the way through. Temperature, hot or cold, I'm going to say it's warm to hot. Hide it from my wife? No, not at all. Actually, this one here, I think she might actually dig. And that's actually a good thing. She's diverse, that's okay. So finally, the reveal. What genre? I wrote down specifically metalcore, nu or groove metal mixed with some industrial, okay? My favorite track for sure was number 7. It was very deep. And am I adding it to my library? Drum roll. Of course I am. Yeah, it's actually very good. I'm going to hang on to this guy for a while. I will show it around. I like that it's very unique. And that's it for Stone Horns. So let's move to artist number 2, our second review of 3. And we go to Rituals of the Dead Hand. Okay? They take center stage now with their album, The Wretched and the Vile. Okay? So my unveiling overview, and I see that there's 6 strong sounding tracks. And all of the tracks are very long, actually. They're all 6 to 8 minutes in that area. Album cover artwork, as you can see, is, look at this artwork, okay? Just look at this. This is absolutely beautiful all the way through. It's black and white. It's got a vintage feel to it. Absolutely loving this artwork. Again, whoever did the artwork here, good for you. Have a beer tonight. Have 2 for me, okay? It also has Gothic fonts, and if the album cover matches the band name and song titles, I'm thinking that I'm in for something very dark and very heavy. Categorized as death or black metal in Apple Music. I will try to predict the actual genre in the next segment, and in the end, we'll see if I was on point, okay? So my first impression and prediction before I play any album, I try to visualize the outcome. And thinking positive, I believe I'm in for something dark. I'm predicting black metal or a big shift to deathcore or death grind. If I shouldn't do that, but if it's not black metal, I'm going to say it's going to be deathcore or death grind or something really heavy. Just to add to the mystery. Maybe that wasn't fair, but I'll do it anyway. I'll compare my vision to the review results later, and next up here we have the process. So again, with my 10-track review page, my 9-category complete album description review page, individual performance and summary review page, to wrap things up, we move forward into the individual track descriptions, and I will describe each one of the 6 tracks. So track 1 opens with a great rendition of Doom. It's dark, big, and it's very ominous. Then track 2 feels gloomy with strong harmonics and narratives. Track number 3, it's a dark tale with powerful, thunderous melodies, and it describes track 3 to a T. Track 4 personifies a doom sound with solid rhythm and harmonies. Track 5 has big, live-sounding, chugging, powerful low rhythms, and it's actually haunting. when you listen to it. Track number 6, it ends strong with big grinding, strong instruments and vocals, and it's nice and simple. None of these descriptions of the songs are compared to what I'm going to tell you a little wee bit about coming up next, okay? The album itself, in a brief summary, it captures the essence of a very dark journey, okay? And it is really nicely done. And I couldn't quite put my finger on it up until I went through the rest of this, okay? So my overall description checklist. The recording and sound quality was softer and deliberate, like it came from older recording equipment, but it was very clear. And I think they did their homework on this big boomy echoey type sound. And then again, maybe they just went by feel. It's really hard to tell. But the sound itself is unique, clear, and that's what you need to know. It's good and full. Production and musicality, it is raw, but I have a funny feeling that there were many people who had their hands in this production to make it this good, okay? Because it was a very good album. Energy and intensity was very high intensity, very dramatic. Rhythm and tempo, it was on point. Lyrical theme, I describe as dark religion. Apple categorizes this as death or black metal, and I'm going to say that it's original black metal. If anyone is acquainted with the black metal that came out of the early 80s, okay, then this is definitely the feel that it gives me. Okay, little coffee here. So, could they go mainstream? Fear not, metal warriors and black metal enthusiasts and lovers out there. These guys are absolutely nowhere near mainstream, okay? They are going to be with us forever, okay? Who are they similar to? They remind me, but mind you, they are very unique. They take me back to Celtic Frost, Hellhammer, and Venom in that vibe in the early 80s. Just a little, but very masterful and very unique. Individual performance description, the singing and vocalization. Here is where everything just shines, okay? The deep, dark, fry vocal sounds that he has, it's like he's sermonizing from a deep, dark cave. That's the sound that he got, and it was chilling, okay? It was very electric feeling. If anything, it's very unique. Wait till you hear it. The guitars, rangy, grinding, and very strong. Bass guitar, big and bright. Drums and percussion, good and strong. Do not expect tons and tons of thunderous, like fast kick drum action or anything like that. They kept it very simple. And quite frankly, it was a nice throwback, and the whole thing, it had some good creepy vibes to it. And any additional sounds, I'm going to say that they used some creepy samples and sound bites, okay, to add flavor to it. Very, very well done. So different. I was not expecting this whatsoever. In summary, now that I've listened to the entire album, my prediction, I said black metal, but I couldn't predict this really good, deep retro feel, okay? All the way back, like over 40 years ago here. Chills and goosebumps factor. I was chilling and I was smiling all the way through it. If I had to compare it to a favorite food, I would have to ask everybody out there, is sulfur and brimstone a spice? Probably not. Okay, but that's what it tastes like. Tonality shades, light or dark, ultra dark. Colors, black as night. Black as pitch, blacker than the foulest witch, okay? It is definitely right there. Temperature, hot or cold, it is cold as death, okay? Hide it from my wife factor? Strangely enough, I wouldn't hide it from her, I don't think. I wouldn't mind playing this around her, but I think I'll keep it to myself anyway. Finally, in my reveal, what genre is it? I'm going to say it's old black metal. Favorite tracks, 5 and 6. Absolutely touching, chilling tracks, okay? Adding it to my library, for sure. It had actually a soothing feel, like reminded me of when I was a kid, and that worked out pretty good for me. So yeah, it's going to go into my collection easily, okay? And finally, what do we have here? Our lead contender up on deck. Our next one is Scarlet Rot with their self-titled album, Scarlet Rot. Okay, so I see that there are 8 strong sounding tracks here. The album cover artwork, as you can see, is crimson with black. Okay, dark forest, dark night with the moon. You people doing the artwork, just amazing, amazing work. Thank you so much for this. And a beautiful red crimson type thing, deep wintry look, demonic, okay? And I believe that I'm in for something in the area of, I'm going to say it's going to be brutal, to be frank with you. Now, this is all done before I actually listened to the album, filled out. My first impression and prediction before I play any album, I try to visualize the outcome, and thinking positive, I believe I'm in for something really crunchy and strong. I'm going to predict death and black metal as well. About the same thing as what Apple is. And I will see at the end if I was on point, okay? So one more time, the process: 10-track review page, complete album description review page, individual performance review page, and a summary review page to wrap things up in 4 parts. Moving to the first part, track 1 opens hard, brutal, smashing, energetic, and just booming, okay? While track 2, it just bleeds, okay, with power, speed, and rangy harmonics. Then track 3 shows real teeth, and it's big, and it's rangy and rhythmic. Track 4 is brutal with crazy, rangy, crushing energy. Track 5 is so full, it's deep and punishing, and it's a total power clinic, okay? Track 6 is just a hammering, crushing deathcore track all the way through. Track 7, it's deep as well, mesmerizing and super crunchy. The range of instruments throughout this whole thing, it's just like fireworks all the way through it. Finally, track 8 is all-out war, okay, with thunderous rhythms and harmonics, okay? It's just excellent. In summary, it's just super heavy, and yet it's super satisfying, okay? Recording and sound quality was crushing, and you can tell that they were right at redline with it, okay? It wasn't staticky, and it wasn't bad or anything like that, but they were right there riding the pin, if you know what I mean. Production and musicality was raw and very big. Energy and intensity, it was big and intense. Rhythm and tempo was accurate, but rangy. Lyrical theme, again, some very dark lyrics. I come back to that reference, dark religion and very angry. Apple categorizes this as death or black metal, and I'm categorizing it somewhere in the metalcore, deathcore, new and death metal range. Could they go mainstream? Fear not, warriors. They're not going mainstream, not these guys. They are too brutal, just too heavy for any type of radio play, so they're staying here with us. Range, flow, and layout is great. Not a bad track on this whole album, to be very frank with you. They remind me, speaking of similarities, they remind me of the angry energy of bands like Throne or Fox Lake. They also sound like they got some of the instrumental qualities of even like Spirit Box and Emure. They even have like a hint of spite built in there, but original, super gutsy, scorching, and big. Okay, this is a really good album for that. Explosive. I think you guys will love it. All right, so what do we have here? Individual performance description, singing and vocalizations, angry, deep fry, and a real bleeder. And to explain a bleeder to me is somebody who absolutely is just almost coughing up blood while they're singing, okay? Their singing is that deep, that strong, and with that much conviction, okay? That's a bleeder. The guitars, big, explosive, and dangerous. I can only imagine how this stuff might go over in a live setting, in a big arena, you know. Bass guitar, crushing and very present. Drums and percussion is rangy, big snappy sounds. And I didn't pick up on any type of samples or bites or anything like that. My summary, was my prediction accurate? I said death or black metal. Yeah, was I ever off? That was nowhere near my prediction. I guess I'm not right all the time. Emotionally, chills and goosebumps. It was a white knuckle ride and I was all smiles. I pretty much can guarantee that. Tonality shades, light or dark? Dark. Very dark. What color do I give them? White hot. Okay. Temperature, hot or cold? Hot. A. F. Okay. All right. Okay. Hide it from my wife factor. Strangely, I kind of want her to hear it, and then I don't think I'll ever play it for her again. So there you go. Finally, the reveal. What genre is it? Deathcore. I put deathcore with, it's got some metalcore qualities, a new metal feel in there, baked in there. My favorite tracks were 4, 5, and 6. And am I adding it to my library? Well, riding on a bullet, I would say as quickly as I can add it to my collection, this gem is going right in there, okay? Alrighty. And so guess what? We're at the end of this. All right, so now you have 3 great albums that I've reviewed for you, and I have to add something for you as a bonus, right? Something from my treasure chest. Let's check it out here. Now, I know a lot of you guys might have this, but for those of you who've been riding on the fence and not quite getting into it, check out Meshuggah Obscene, okay, from 2008. It's not that old, but some people swear that this may be one of the heaviest albums ever made by any metal band, okay? Meshuggah Obscene, okay? That sounds about right. Well, people, that looks like the end of our show for today, and I want to wish everybody a tremendous weekend. Thank you for coming by for another episode of Full Metal Reviews. And remember, please, to support your metal artists, okay? Stream them, buy the merch, go see them live if you can, if they're in your neighborhood. And then join me again soon for another episode of Full Metal Reviews. And finally, please hit that subscribe button and set those notifications so you guys get new suggestions every day. That's what I'm really trying for. Today was the weekend. We got lucky. I got you 3 in there. And also follow the links too. Okay, check out my Facebook stuff that I got going on there so you can check out the charts too. And that's it. You guys have an amazing metal weekend. We shall see you tomorrow. All right, cheers.